On April 2nd, Google did something that doesn't make sense unless you understand how AI markets actually work. They released a model built on the same research as Gemini and gave it away. Free. No usage fees, no restrictions. You can build a product, charge for it, even compete with Google, and they are fine with that. Now, if you have followed tech long enough, you know companies like Google don't give away core technology. So the real question isn't what Gemma is. It's what Google is playing here. What game is Google playing here? Before we go deeper, you need to stop thinking about AI as a user and start thinking about it as a builder. Because from a user's perspective, nothing has changed. You still open ChatGPT, you still type a prompt, you still get an answer, but from a builder's perspective, everything just changed. If you have ever tried to build anything serious using APIs, you already know this. The problem is not intelligence, the problem is cost. Every request costs money, every user interaction costs money, and the moment your product starts working, your costs scale faster than your revenue. That's the part most tutorials don't talk about. Now, Gemma flips that completely. You download the model once, run it locally, and that entire cost structure disappears. No per request billing, no dependency on external servers, no every user is equal to more cost kind of problem. From a builder's lens, that's not a feature. That's a completely different business model. And here's the deeper insight most people miss. In AI, whoever controls inference controls the economy. Right now, cloud companies control inference, which means they can control pricing. But the moment inference moves local, that control breaks. Now, to be clear, local models have existed for a while. Llama, Mistral, this isn't new. What's new is the quality to cost ratio. That gap between what you can run locally and what you need the cloud for is collapsing. And when the gap collapses, the entire market shifts. Google made a few smart architectural decisions here. Instead of brute forcing intelligence, they made the model more efficient. Each layer processes more relevant information, less waste, better signal. Result, you don't need massive infrastructure to get decent performance. There's a version that runs under 1.5 gigs of RAM, and this leads to a second order effect. When capability becomes cheap, experimentation explodes. You will see more indie hackers, more niche products, more weird creative use cases because the barrier to trying something just dropped to zero. Now the bigger model uses something called mixture of experts. But forget the technical term. Here's what actually matters. Instead of using full compute for every task, it activates only what's needed. So you get high capability, low cost at the same time. And if you're building products, that's the holy grail because your margins depend on it. Benchmarks look impressive, but here's the honest take. Benchmarks don't build products, economics does. And what people noticed here is simple. You're getting close to high-end performance at a fraction of cost, and that's what matters. But the real unlock is not technical, it's legal. Apache 2.0 license, which means no weird restrictions, no enterprise hesitation, no compliance issues. You can fix, fine-tune it, package it, sell it without worrying about the edge cases. If you are in healthcare, fintech, government, this changes everything because previously cloud AI was not even an option. Data couldn't leave the system. Now, you can run everything locally, fully compliant. So now we come back to the original question. Why is Google doing this? Because AI is not just a model problem, it's an ecosystem problem. Whoever wins developers wins the markets. And developers just don't pick the best model. They pick what's easy to use, okay, legally safe, cheap to experiment with. Meta understood this early with Llama. Google is catching up. Here's the actual play. Give developers a free, powerful model, let them grow, and when they need to scale, they move to cloud. And since their stack already fits Google's ecosystem, guess where they go? Open source is not charity, it's distribution. Now zoom out. What does this mean? The cost of building AI products is collapsing, which means More competition, faster iteration, shorter product cycles, and most importantly, less dependency on big platforms. So the real shift is AI is moving from a service you rent to the infrastructure you own, and that changes who can build, what they can build, and how fast they can move. Google didn't release Gemma because they are generous. They released it because a world where you build on their model is more valuable to them than a world where you don't.